Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and to a special installment of the Strangest Train Station series. In this video, I will be covering some of the strangest train stations on the Sydney Metropolitan Network. This video won't include intercity lines, so without further ado, let's get into it. At number 5, we have Wollstonecraft. This is a small station located just to the north of the Sydney CBD. Despite being just 3 stops away from the city, it sees a relatively small number of passengers due to being located in a small inner suburb. Wollstonecraft is located on one of the tightest curves in the whole Sydney rail network, and as such has the most curved platform in the whole city. If there's any station where it's important to mind the gap, it's here. Just look at that. The curved platform also means trains make this awful screeching sound every time they arrive into the station, leading to complaints from residents about the noise, something which doesn't have an obvious solution. The station has 2 side platforms, with sheltered seating provided. There's also a small kiosk on the city platform, something that's a lot more common here in Sydney than in Melbourne. In 2022, lifts were added for better access to Shirley Road, located to the south of the station. Before this, the only way to get between platforms was through this small tunnel on the north end. As I was getting footage for this video, I quickly discovered so many different pathways and entrances to this station, from so many different areas. It's clearly very well integrated into the surrounding area, which is really nice. Overall, Wollstonecraft is an interesting station with a great atmosphere, so long as you don't mind your eardrums being destroyed. At number 4 is Cronulla, the terminus of Sydney's T4 Cronulla branch line. Cronulla station seemingly only has one platform, but this one platform is incredibly long, at nearly half a kilometre from end to end. I'm a pretty fast walker, and it took me over 4 minutes to walk from one side to the other. In reality, it actually functions as 2 separate platforms, with both platforms being used by different tracks, in a layout like the one you see on screen. During the off-peak, only Platform 1, the platform closest to the main entrance, is used, whereas both platforms are used in busy periods, with trains alternating between them. The platform was originally designed this way as a cost-effective method of allowing any passengers to easily exit the station and travel to where they're going, without the need for a footbridge or pedestrian crossing. Next to the long platform are 3 sidings used to hold out-of-service trains. The station has 2 entrances, with the main one located at Platform 1, near the main area of Cronulla. It has a next train display, as well as a small cafe, that also has 2 entrances, from both the platform and the street. To the south of here, you'll find the station's bus interchange, and to the south of that, you find the second, much smaller entrance to Platform 2, which is pretty much the bare minimum when it comes to station entrances. In conclusion, Cronulla is a very cool station with a unique and practical design that you don't see in many other places. At number 3, we have McDonaldtown. Despite its name, this station is disappointingly located a full 1.5 kilometers away from the nearest Macca's. The name itself is a remnant of an old suburb that was merged with the suburb of Erskineville all the way back in 1893. Yet despite this, the station kept its name and still has it to this day, over 130 years later. In Sydney, timetabled express trains skipping lots of stations are common. and nowhere is it more prominent than here, where you're stuck on a tiny island platform between the express tracks and the Evely train maintenance yard. You're practically surrounded by trains on all sides. It's a very strange feeling. The only lines that stop here are the T3 and some T2 trains that end at Homebush, providing direct service to the Sydney CBD. The only way to get in here is through this dingy little archway under the bridge that carries the railway, where you can find, surprisingly, a staffed information centre, and the ramp up to the platform, which looks more like the entrance to an abandoned castle dungeon than an entrance to a train station. Unsurprisingly, very few people use this station, the lowest number in this video, and it was still incredibly quiet despite the fact that I was here during peak hour. Overall, McDonald Town is a strange station with its tiny platform in the middle of Sydney's busiest train corridor. At number 2 is Milsons Point. This is the first stop out of the city after crossing the Sydney Harbour Bridge, positioned directly next to Sydney's Bradfield Highway. You can clearly see trains arriving in from the city across the bridge from the southern end of the platform, and it's a great place to take photos. The station itself was built at the same time as the bridge, and was relocated here from its original location meant for interchanges with ferries. Milsons Point still has a ferry wharf, but it's a long walk from the station, and there aren't that many people who transfer here, and it's mostly just tourists that use the ferries anyway. The station has an island platform with ample shelter and seating area. Originally, there was another island platform and set of tracks on the other side that was used by trams, but Sydney made the decision to dismantle their tram network in the 1950s. Geez, I wonder what it could have looked like if cities decided not to dismantle their tram networks. I really wonder if there's an example of what this could be like somewhere. Maybe Sydneysiders could take notes. Anyway, they used the space to add 2 more lanes to the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And Sydney never experienced any traffic ever again. Good job, everyone. Stairs and this lift take you down to the concourse level from the platform. Here you can find the exit fare gates and the next train displays for lines T1 and T9 that run past here. The station concourse here also acts as a pathway between the 2 sides of the bridge, and the suburbs of Milsons Point and Kirribilli, with the station entrance being directly connected as part of a row of shops on the Kirribilli side. Overall, Milsons Point is a scenic and well-integrated station, just 1 stop away from the CBD.
City Circle via Airport Station. International Airport.
At number 1, we have Wally Creek. This station is a major interchange with 2 distinct areas. 1 set of side platforms that serve T8 trains that travel via the airport, and an island platform serving T4 trains to the southern suburbs. This platform is entirely covered by a large shelter with small amounts of seating. There's no direct exits to the station from here, and the only way out is down the stairs through this walkway, which takes you to an overpass overlooking the platforms used by airport trains. This part of the station is in a trench, with surprisingly thin platforms that really are giving South Kensington vibes. This whole station honestly feels a lot like train stations in Japan, with the retro-futuristic style reminiscent of a lot of the stations over there. The trench platforms seem to be the more popular ones, and hey, Wally Creek is only 5 stops from the city taking this route, compared to the 6 if you take the T4, so maybe that's why. Seating and vending machines are provided. Above the platform on the concourse, you can find station toilets and the creatively named Wally Creek Kiosk. Finally, here's the exit to Wally Creek Station, taking you directly out onto this pedestrianized street, There was also strangely quiet on this particular Thursday. Wally Creek was redeveloped around the same time the station was constructed, having previously been an industrial area, so maybe it's a similar situation to Melbourne's Docklands. You can even see the above-ground platforms from here. Maybe the station could benefit from a more direct entrance here? I don't know. Another thing to mention is that the distance between this station and the previous one, Tempe, is just 345 meters from the end of one platform to another, the shortest distance on the entire Sydney Trains network. And with that said, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you back in Melbourne for the next one.